welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast that exists in the world, or maybe it's not, I don't know, it's hard to keep track. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host as we go on this adventure, I'm joined by a dickhead. His name is Lawrence Thomas Heisey, and he's going to tell us all what this show is all about.
Nathan, this is the show where every week we get together in the realm of... Wait, no, I've fucked it as well. Don't worry, we're both fucking it today. Nathan, this is the show where each week we get together to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. It could be a movie, it could be a telly show, it could be a video game, or it could be the entire X-Men franchise, bar maybe one exception. And we do so without being toxic and nasty, and we're not horrible boys.
I'll be horrible. What's the one exception?
The New Mutants.
That's not really part of it.
Yeah, but we have this debate every week, don't we?
Nah, it's fine.
It's part of it. It's just the one that they brush under the rug.
It's completely separate. It's not part of it.
Did they release that as 20th Century Fox, or was that after Disney bought them out that they released that?
It was after Disney bought them out.
Okay. So that really was just what the fuck do we do with this?
It was made before the acquisition, but it was released after the acquisition.
Well, of course it was made before, because it was made like 8 years before it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, how the devil are you, good sir?
I'm tired and I'm hungry. And I'm cranky now as well, because I realised I'm hungry. So
You're hungry. Can we solve any of these live on air?
No, I should buy me a chicken dinner.
But it still wouldn't come until probably like halfway through this recording.
Well, there we go, so it wouldn't solve anything.
For at least half an hour or so.
Yeah. And then there'd just be an unedited 15 minutes of me eating my meal before we resume.
We wouldn't talk over it as well. I wouldn't remove it from the podcast. It would just be you eating a meal in silence for 15 minutes.
And every time you try to make conversation, I just go, shut up! and go back to eating.
What would you get? What chicken meal would you get if you could get any meal? Or is this going to make you more annoyed talking about it?
Yeah, this will make me more hungry. Let's not do that.
All right, tell me about the food that you hate the most in the world that you never eat.
Let's not talk about food at all. How about that?
All right, that probably works better, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan James Bauer. Other than being cranky because you haven't eaten, what are you up to? What have you been doing?
Watching a movie. About to record a podcast about that movie. Yeah,
same really. I feel like we can't really update much because we recorded fairly recently. There's not much that's gone on since.
No, I guess. Do we need to update? Do we need to?
No, but it's preamble, isn't it?
Okay. Well, let's just get to the amble then, shall we?
Okay, all right, fine. This is the amble. We're here. We're doing X-Mania, where we've been covering every X-Men movie bar that one that we're not going to talk about.
Stop mentioning it. No one cares.
Logan. We're up to the finale in the Wolverine trilogy. Logan time.
I was going to say, well, no, but then in the Wolverine trilogy, that is true. We are
not quite the swan song it once was.
No. Well, depends.
We will reserve this for further discussion.
Again, you haven't seen a certain movie, so
I'm not. That's not indicative of any quality or comment. I'm not
saying that. I'm not saying that. But it's not. But you don't know.
I don't.
Or maybe you do. I don't know. But
I know that it was supposedly the last time Hugh Jackman was going to play Wolverine, and then that changed.
Yes.
So that is a fact that I have under my belt.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done on having that fact. Okay.
Point to me.
Okay.
If this was a debate, I'd be crushing you right now. Oh, is the vice president debate on tonight?
Is it? No, I don't think so.
I thought I saw someone say it was.
I was thinking about presidential debate, but I don't know. Who cares about the vice president debate?
Yeah, true.
I can't even tell you who's running for vice president.
It's
me.
It's that guy that apparently had sex with a sofa.
Okay, great. The only vice president I care about is the vice president who's currently running for president. And even then, to be honest, I don't really care about her. But like,
just the lesser of two evils, I guess.
Well, I feel that's a bit of an
It might be reductive to her, yeah.
But, you know.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use the introduction of this podcast to make vaguely sweeping political comments that I don't understand.
Hard-hitting political commentary from Lawrence, though.
That's why they come here. That's why they tune into this episode of Logan on another Happy Pod.
Why wouldn't they?
How many presidents have we seen throughout this podcast?
We started when Trump was still the president, because it started about 4 years ago, roughly, towards the about September 2024. Sorry, 20. That's what it is now. About roughly around about this time 2020 we started it. Towards the tail end of 2020. When was our first episode uploaded? Yeah, Solo: A Star Wars Story, episode number 1 was uploaded the 13th of September 2020. So wow. 4 years we've been in this bish.
There we go.
There we go, bloody hell. 4 years.
That's a commitment right there.
That is a commitment. Almost 200 episodes.
Whew.
And boy, am I tired.
And hungry, as we've established.
And hungry, yeah. And we've gone from strength to a little bit of more strength, I guess.
I think it's been up and down along the way, but we've had a good time.
We've had a good run. And here we are to officially announce the end of another.
Yeah, it's over now, done.
It's over. No, we'll keep going.
So, Nathan, it's Logan time. Logan, when was the last time you saw Logan?
About 10 minutes ago.
All right, no.
I got it!
No!
I got it! Yeah,
The return.
It's a joke, but I fucking got it.
The return of this classic joke. God damn it.
I got him, boys.
All right, before that, when was the last time you had seen the movie Logan?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Probably within the lifetime of this podcast. So sometime within the last 4 years, but I don't know that for sure.
Okay. So you'd say within the last 2 presidencies.
Sure.
That's how we measure now.
All right, great.
It's our new metric.
But that's a whole potentially 8-year span, though.
Has it happened within 8 years?
Well, yes, I just said.
Well, then, that's fine then. So why I said wasn't wrong.
No, but I'm saying it's a long time frame, though.
Yeah, I may have cast my net too far. I understand. But
all right, great.
I saw this, maybe 2 months ago?
I saw this with you.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to I think so. I'm pretty sure we went to the old motion picture house to watch this picture.
We might have done. I remember seeing it twice.
No, we definitely did. We definitely did. Yeah, I remember. I remember you.
What did I get? Did I get some snacks?
What do you mean, what did you get? You got a fucking movie. That's what you got.
Did I get any popcorn?
Oh, I don't know, probably. You always got a corn. You're always there munching away in my ear, doing my fucking head in. Know about me, fun fact, I fucking hate popcorn in the cinema, all right?
Yeah, you're a hot dog man, aren't you?
Not even. I'm mostly just a drink. If I'm feeling peckish, I'll get a hot dog, but I'm definitely not getting a fucking popcorn.
I realised that I couldn't keep getting popcorn every time I went to the cinema, because there was a period about a year ago where I was going like most weekends, and I was like, this is too much popcorn for one man. Like, I should not consume a weekly big bag of popcorn.
Doesn't do anything though. It's not like exactly an unhealthy snack. Popcorn.
No, but it's all the salt and the sugar on it. It doesn't help.
Sugar, salt.
Yes, all the ingredients.
Do you get a mixed popcorn?
I've been known to get a mix. I'm not locked to it, but
outrageous. Could not be me. I cannot think of anything worse than a salted popcorn myself. If I do get a popcorn, it's rare, but if I do get a popcorn, it would be a sweet popcorn. Okay.
What,
and
all sweet?
All sweet, yeah. And fun fact, in America, they don't do sweet popcorn. They only do salted. So if you ask for a popcorn, you're getting a salted popcorn. And then they're like, do you want to lather that in butter? And I'm like, kill yourself. No.
Yeah, this is the question I had. Does it make it is it like melted butter?
Melted
just
butter.
as a liquid?
They don't just take like a tub of fucking Dairy Leo and just spread a bit of clover on there or something. You know?
No, but I thought, because sometimes you can put butter in, but do they spray butter on like a dispenser?
It's like a dispenser, yeah, which you like a sort of syrup dispenser sort of thing.
Oh, that sounds like the worst thing in the world.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing, America?
What are you doing?
Both with your presidents and popcorn.
Outrageous.
All right, what do you think about Logan, the movie?
What do you think about Logan, the movie?
Oh, he got me. I think it's a good time. I like this movie quite a lot. I think it's the best of the Wolverines, of the solo Wolverines. I think it does something really fresh and interesting in that it kind of takes the superhero genre and this character we've seen a billion times. It kind of puts them in a different setting, some would say different universe, and kind of changes.
I would say definitely, yeah.
Well, yeah, so but it kind of lifts them up and goes, here's everything you know, it's in a completely unfamiliar world, and the kind of dynamics of characters you can't really rely on them here. This is not an X-Men movie. This is solely focused on Logan and And yeah, I don't know. It's a very nice kind of end of life movie for a man that's like had the internal struggles that he's had throughout this kind of whole X-Men journey that we've seen. Even though they're technically not his memories, but we can infer.
Look, some may try to tell you, some movies may try to tell you that this is all part of the same universe, okay? And those movies are fundamentally wrong, okay? Because
Okay, yeah.
This is just not part of any other universe we've seen. It's clearly different. There's some little things here and there which we'll get into, but it's clearly a very different world. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Which version did you watch? Did you watch the black and white version? Probably.
No, I just shut up. Probably. No, I watched
like the
the
type of
normal
thing
one.
you'd enjoy.
Yeah, I've seen the black and white version. I didn't really get much out of it. It's not.
Does
really...
it add anything to the movie, or is it just pointless?
It's mostly just a filter. Like, and a filter's a bit strong because they've color corrected it properly. Like, they haven't just lowered the saturation, but like it kind of kills the Western vibe. Like, you want that kind of yellow, dusty atmosphere. So yeah, I think it's counterintuitive. I didn't think it worked that well. So no, I watched the normal version.
I also watched the normal version. Yeah.
And as a whole, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's probably the best of the franchise. Really, there's a reason it's so. Yeah. Well, what's better?
I don't know necessarily if I would say like better, but I enjoyed Days of Future Past as much as I enjoy this.
Yeah, but different things though, isn't it? It's like it's Days of Future Past is like. And First Class, and you know those are probably like more. Oh, not First Class, but those are probably like more entertaining movies.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, that's true.
There's more fun to be had, whereas this is just like in terms of like I don't know,
sit in the chair for 2 hours and get sad.
Yeah, well, yeah, like a story that can affect you, and a critically acclaimed. Not really, but sort of that sort of vibe for it. Really.
Yeah, it's definitely swinging for like kind of higher emotional intensity for sure.
100%, yeah.
Whereas Days of Future Past wasn't afraid to get like emotional with it, but their focus was more like look at the epic story that we're telling across 2 generations and all of this. Whereas Logan's not really beholden to any of that. I would say, just because we mentioned the universe thing, I think this is one of the only instances where the timeline ambiguity in the X-Men franchise is 1, intentional, and 2, works in a good way.
Okay, explain.
Like, because I think that like if it could work as a continuation, they would be able to say like, oh, all those things that happened in X-Men 2, and they could reference a bunch of stuff. But firstly, I don't think they need to, and secondly, I like that this works as its own thing. You really don't need to have watched anything to enjoy this, because it's all just inferred. Like, we're kind of on the back foot and learning with newcomers that could have just watched this for the first time. Like, also, I think it adds into the Western thing. Like, often these kind of stoic cowboy Western figures, they're often just like mysterious men with mysterious pasts. And kind of making some of the stuff that we thought we could rely on inaccessible for this movie adds to that. It makes Logan a more confused or interesting to watch character, because we don't know him as well as we thought we did.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I don't know if I like that, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you prefer it like to kind of know more about him to feel more about it, kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like that he's not, he never once mentions Jean in this movie, so that's good. He's not like hung up on Jean or anything like that, but
yeah, I
don't know. It does feel kind of strange to be like everything else never happened, or maybe it did, but like, he's got the katana on the wall. He's got the samurai
that's
swords.
true. Yeah, I didn't think about the katana.
Yeah, he's got the katana on the wall. So something happened in Japan. There was something, but was it what we saw? Was it different? I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think because it can be hard, especially if you've got all that baggage with these actors playing these parts. Like, there's a part of that. Oh, again, obviously I haven't seen it. Is that something that's dealt with in Deadpool Wolverine? Because I know that's supposed to be a different version of Wolverine as well, right?
What do you mean?
The Logan that's in Deadpool Wolverine is not the main line from the Fox universe, right? And it's also not Logan? Or is this a spoiler? Shall I wait for this?
Yeah, you should just wait to watch the movie. Yeah.
Okay. That probably makes sense.
It's a bit of a spoiler.
All right, fair enough. No, but all right. But Yeah, I like it, but you'd rather it was kind of something that was a bit more clear stated.
I don't know if I'd rather it. I just, I don't know. It just seems a bit strange to completely separate it. In a series of movies where the universe and timeline is already so fucking fractured and messed up.
Yeah.
It's like they're not helping, really, are they? Like James Mangold isn't here like, I'll fix this finally. If anything, he's just made it even more confusing. But like,
yeah, I don't disagree.
But like, it's already broken beyond repair at this point. So like, fucking whatever. I don't care that much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a crucial deal. I think he just took advantage of the fact that he was probably allowed to, and was just like, this is because he's been very on record, and I don't know necessarily if I agree with his comments on it, but he's been very vocal about it. Whenever people in the lead up to Deadpool and Wolverine, whenever people started mentioning him in tweets, like, is this the Logan that was in Logan?
Why would he's not involved in the movie.
No, but he's quite active on Twitter, and he's very defensive about his version of Logan, and he was quite vocal about not enjoying the idea of Hugh Jackman going back. Not that he's allowed to say, mind you. But
it was first of all, it was Hugh Jackman's idea to go back. Hugh Jackman wanted to go back. Okay,
I don't think he was overly fond of it. The James Mangold, anyway.
All right, well, fair play to him, but like, I can understand like wanting to protect your art and stuff, but like, I don't necessarily think. Oh, that's a conversation for another episode, but.
Okay, all right, we'll save it. But yeah, I don't think this Deadpool Wolverine hasn't erased Logan. I watched it today. Like,
what, Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, it hasn't, like,
did you?
him being back. As in I watched Logan today.
I was gonna say, I was like, fucking hell, what are you doing?
Why did you do that? You'll have to do it again in a month. What do you love about this movie?
What do I love?
What do you like? What do you when you watch Logan? When you stopped watching, what were you like? That was cool.
It's nice, I guess, to see just a full on R-rated Logan, in the fact that it's not restrained. You know, it doesn't have to cut away or conform to the PG rating. It can just give you, and it does in that fucking open scene. It lets you know exactly what you're in for, giving you just a full, uncaged, you know, just unheld back. Well, I say unheld back. He's clearly older and slower, and you know he's got all this sort of stuff going on. But like this, you can see exactly what he's capable of, really.
Yeah.
So it's and you know, at the time, 2017, that was a completely new phenomenon. It's only really because Deadpool was so successful that we were
that's true.
That we got the R-rated Logan, and definitely worked out for the better, I think.
I agree. I think Deadpool and, weirdly enough, Joker really pushed the needle forward in being like, hey, you can make these things a bit more gruesome.
Joker was 2019.
Yeah, I know, but like, that's only 2 years after this. I'm not saying it affected this, but it's definitely affected stuff since, I think.
If it did, there'd be some weird time travel shit going on.
It would just be more Fox X-Men timeline nonsense that we wouldn't be able to decipher, yeah. No, I like seeing that. Like we've already said, they do get quite a bit of bang for your buck in terms of PG stuff, but it is really quite refreshing to just watch him in the first 2 minutes of the movie just cut a man's arm off. Like,
yeah, it's pretty good.
And you can see the arm hit the floor as well. Like there's no hiding it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Which I like. Yeah,
I remember seeing that in the cinema on opening night, seeing that scene, and I'm pretty sure I just turned to you and went like, "Holy shit!" Wow. Like, because it was something new. We hadn't really seen this before at the time. It was great.
Yeah, it was shocking, but like in a fun way. This is later on. Someone gets full on decapitated on screen.
Yeah,
it's like cool. And then you think that quick cut will be it, but then you just close up on the head on the floor as well, and you're like, oh, you're really milking this.
Yeah.
Every second of it on screen.
What do you like about this movie?
In terms of like a general vibe, I like how fucking tired the whole movie feels.
Yeah.
Like, it's a movie that, like, obviously there's performances, and like Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman are given incredible fucking turn-ins here.
Logan.
And I say them, and I'll get to Daphne Keane as well, but I say them too because they're the old Todgers. They're the old, like, the old farts of the movie that really are just like, oh my god, please stop trying to kill everyone.
Hugh Jackman's not as old as he is in this movie, though. Like, he's...
No, I know.
Well, obviously, he's not like 200, but, like, I mean, like, he doesn't look as old as he does in this movie. Like, they really aged him up for this.
He looks great, by the
He
way.
does look great, yeah.
It's a very good look. I'm glad they didn't go with the more like classic old man Logan look. I think he looks good as more of this unkept beast man. But yeah, no, with the like the sluggishness, I think there's the way the fucking whole the way the whole movie is filmed, it feels very like not traditional superhero kind of thing. The whole film feels very slow and like it's edited to a really slow pace, and like when the action does ramp up towards the end, like especially when he's like running through the field after he's had his little berserker juice, right? It's like there's elements where you see like he'll run past the camera and the camera will have to like whip round to catch up with him. So like that's really effective in just making the entire movie be like, oh my god, can we get a break? Like it works really, really well, and I think it's quite cleverly done.
I like The Last of Us.
So do you remember the amount of people that tried to cast Hugh Jackman in their heads as Joel after this movie?
I was one of them.
Were you really? Okay.
Yeah, I said Hugh Jackman would be a good Joel, and I stand by that. I thought he would have made a good Joel. If you're going for biblically accurate fucking one-to-one look of the character, which I don't even think is a good idea, and which is why, like, you know, some people have problems with the casting we have, and I'm like, it's fine that they don't look identical to the character. Calm down, you know?
I think it, like, there's certain things in a game that you have to accommodate, and there's certain things that for realism in a movie or TV show you have to be like, yeah, it's fine. It makes it makes sense that he's not ridiculously ripped. He's still a strong, big guy. Like, it's fine. But yeah.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like Bella Ramsey and stuff. But like,
oh yeah, I've seen a bit of that this week.
Yeah,
since the trailer. That's a shame.
It is what it is.
The internet gonna U-turn. That's what they do.
But this is clearly inspired by The Last of Us a bit.
Yeah, almost certainly. I mean, you've got like it's very like in that trapping of like, you know, an older, grislier kind of grounded guy will kind of get this young, what do they call it, the lion and cub trope. Yeah, and that's. But I quite like that it's a spin on that, because I wouldn't exactly refer to Daphne Keene's character as a cub that needs that much protecting in this.
Well, she is a cub in that that just means young. All I mean is young. She's like every lion and cub story you can think of, the young one will also be ferocious and brutal and will be able to handle themselves. Last of Us, Ellie can handle herself. Mandalorian, Grogu can use the Force. Okay, he can fuck shit up. All right,
that's true. I guess because you don't see Grogu like pulling claws out of his
exactly
feet.
Exactly. Just because he's not out here decapitating people.
He's more mentally sound. He'll just firebomb people instead.
Exactly. Or he'll force choke Gina Carano like a hero.
Oh yeah, what a legend.
Yeah.
Good on him. Doing it before it was cool.
Good on him, yeah.
What do you make of the what do you make of Charles in this? Because we've I don't think we've necessarily spoken about Charles too much throughout X-Mania, save for maybe Days of Future Past, because he's often kind of just been the guy in the suit that gets taken off the board. He gets Professor X'd, as we often say.
And he gets the ultimate Professor X in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is death.
Wiped clean off the board.
Well, I guess this is the second time he's died. But, like, this one's pretty final.
And probably more brutal than getting... I understand getting levitated and blown up is, like, quite a shit way to go. There's something about stabbing a 90-year-old man in the heart that just feels a bit more horrible.
Yeah, I guess there's a certain quickness to just being instantly exploded, I guess. Like, that's, you're not exactly feeling that, I guess.
At least it's a pop and you're gone situation.
Yeah, so that's true, I guess. Still, it doesn't look nice.
No.
Charles, Charles is great. I think Patrick Stewart does a great performance. Again, I think he's slightly aged up. Well, he's not fucking 90. Well, I don't know. He's getting up there, but I don't think he's 90 years old.
I think he grew his hair out, whereas before he's clean shaven head a lot of the time.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great role. It's really, really heartbreaking at times. I remember being in the cinema and watching it, and like when we first see Charles and he's moving about in his chair and he's going like, oh, get the new Taco Bell Grande Chalupa,
Yeah.
get it with steak, get it with chicken or whatever. And I remember people laughing at that. And I was like, no, you don't get it, all right? You don't understand like I do. This is sad, okay? They can laugh. It's a little funny, whatever. I don't really care. But I remember being like, no, I'm deeper than you because I get this. Okay?
Okay, well, you were sat there like judging everyone.
I was like, you can't laugh at this broken man. You know?
This is a man with clear Alzheimer's. Like, don't be nasty to him.
Exactly.
I know what you mean. It does kind of intro him as like. Oh, I never saying that. I think something that we've not seen too much of is he's really quite funny in this.
He is very funny in this. I really like the moment where he Logan tells him to like take his pills or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, I want to see you swallow," and he just goes, "Ah."
Yeah. I like it when he's like trying to speak Spanish and he goes, "Oh, it's a choo choo."
Yeah. It's good stuff. I like it.
It's great. I think it's a great performance. They say it outright, like I don't know if this has happened in comics before or whatever. I'm sure it must have done, or at least since this movie. But it's such an interesting concept to have a degenerative brain disease inside the world's most dangerous and powerful brain.
Oh, I'm almost certain it's been done in comics.
It has to have been done. Like it's such an obvious choice to do. Especially because in the comics, Charles isn't often a spring chicken. Like, he's often getting on.
No. He's actually... The movies aged him up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's only, like, usually around, like, not that much older than the X-Men himself. Really.
Oh, okay.
But comics are always on the shift in timeline, so it gets weird. Like, Peter Parker got his powers in the 60s, and he's still canonically like about 30 years old. So like, I don't know, it's always a bit weird, but whatever.
It's just one of the things you kind of just gotta go, whatever. It's like the Fox X-Men universe, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's a little weird.
But no, I think he's like, I love how much they nail in on his like core concept of character. Like, he just in his like, what he probably knows is his.
He's
last
also
few
not
years.
British. Sorry, he's also not British.
Oh no, I knew that. I knew they made him kind of very upper class English for.
He's only British because they cast Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
that's the only reason most people think of him as British.
I'm not doing an accent, Logan.
Yeah.
I refuse. But no, I just love that that his general conceit in the movie is so like lasered in on him being like, I want to help people. I don't have a school for it anymore, and I've like, the world is fucked.
And it also allows for some like really, really heartbreaking moments, like when he has the fucking the what's the word I'm looking for? The mind attack, the seizure in the Vegas hotel. And then afterwards, they're like, Logan's just like carrying him out, and there's all people like recovering. He's just going, I'm so sorry to everyone as he passes by. It's heartbreaking, man. Like, he can't control it. It's not his fault. But
it's the way like they have no idea that he has done that or caused it, and he's just like trying to hold people's hands as he gets wheeled past them.
Yeah.
It's a great tragedy, I think, of the movie, and like, it really does focus you in to just be like fucking sad and heartbroken with his death, just because of like, his whole thing is helping people, and then him trying to convince, like, he wants to help Logan, and him convincing Logan to stay that extra night, or that one night at the family's house, and that for that being Logan's benefit of him being like, stay and experience life, like, feel what it means to be part of a family again. And that's what puts people innocent people in harm's way. Like, it's all he wants to do is help, and the only thing he can seemingly do with his powers now is hurt people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh man, it's so sad. And when he like comes clean and like kind of realizes that whatever happened to the X-Men was down to him, and kind of was his doing, and he confesses that, but he confesses it to like a fucking clone of Logan that doesn't even register or care. Like, oh my God.
Can't even speak.
Yeah, and oh man, so sad, man. I think Charles it might be Patrick Stewart's best turn-in performance, like in this franchise at the very least.
I was gonna say he's pretty good in Star Trek.
Yeah, for like 100 years or however long he was in that show.
I've never seen Star Trek.
Is he still doing it? Like, I heard he came back like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Picard came back as
Right.
probably inspired by this, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Picard came back. I don't know if it's still going on. I'll be honest, I've actually never seen Star Trek, the Next Generation.
I've only seen what little I saw of my dad constantly.
I was going to say, your dad loves Star Trek Next Generation, doesn't he?
He's big into it, yeah. Like, it's his favorite armchair, like, TV show to watch.
Big Trek. He's there in his Star Trek Commander t-shirt, just
Yeah.
watching the show.
What's that? Is it Fanboys, the movie? He's like Seth Rogen character in Fanboys.
Oh, yeah.
It just starts fights with people in parks over Star Trek. Speaking of clone Jackman, what do you think of two Jackman, Double Hugh?
Double Hugh, Double Trouble. There's two of him.
There is.
A bit of a shock, I guess, a bit of a twist of the movie, really. And obviously, like, because Hugh Jackman is aged up for the majority of it, they kind of have like a younger version of him here, which adds a bit of fun, I guess.
Which is probably what he normally looked like.
Yeah. And his big shaved head is very upsetting. I don't know why. His shaved head and his sleek black tank top, it's all very upsetting. I don't like him. That's how you know he's evil, because he wears a black tank top instead of a white one.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I don't know how true this is, that the shaved head was real and the Logan hair was wig.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true that is.
I guess, logically speaking, that makes sense, because
you can keep shaving your head as much as you want.
Yeah. You can't really... Well, I guess you could put on a bald cap, but it wouldn't look the same.
No, it wouldn't. I don't. But yeah, it probably wouldn't look as good. What do you think? There's anything in this where it's like a meta jab on like
here we go. This will be good.
No, I don't necessarily. I think people are reaching when they say it, but there is this theory that it's like, especially because of how James Mangold acted when Deadpool Wolverine came out. Or like was announced or whatever, and he was like quite vocal against it. A lot of people think there's something to gain with like considering the clone, the X-24 character, as this kind of soulless product that like this is what Wolverine is to the average consumer and the average executive. They just want Hugh Jackman as a soulless killing machine. And they're going to keep kind of bringing him back and forcing him to do it, which is obviously not true. But like, do you think there's anything in that to any truth?
Do I think there's any truth behind the intention of that? No, I don't think that was ever intentional. Okay, that's not to say though that you can't take that metaphor after the fact and apply it. And I think there is.
There's some wiggle room, right?
There's some wiggle room. There is some, in some ways, that fits. I would disagree with the idea of a corporation turning him into a soulless killing machine. That doesn't necessarily work. But there's some commentary you can make work there, but you can make anything work into that kind of stuff though as well.
Yeah, if you start bending stuff, like everything fits eventually.
Exactly. Like, it's I don't think that's what James Mangold was intending with.
Yeah, I don't either. This. I think that his recent comments have made people think he must have had that within him. But like, he had a very close bond with Hugh Jackman. They'd worked on the Wolverine prior to this. Like, they were friends and collaborators.
In 2017, I don't think the Disney X-Men, Disney Fox acquisition was a thing at that point.
There probably weren't even whispers of it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
they were behind closed doors.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. And this would have been like written and made in what, 2015, 2016. So
probably, yeah, I'd imagine so. I don't think there's that much weight to it. I think the character is way more.
And also, like this makes me laugh. This like the idea that like, oh yeah. Let's not give Wolverine to Disney because that would be giving it to a soulless mega corporation. So let's keep it with Fox, shall we? Little humbly owned, mamas and papas fucking little corner store. It's like when people like say like, "Oh, you got an iPhone? All right, you're selling out to the mega corporation."
Yeah.
Brother, your phone is made by Google, okay? All right? You really fucking think you're supporting local independent business here with a fucking Google phone? Fuck off, all right?
When the local like Pop and Son shop make a phone, I'll buy that one, all right?
Exactly.
But I don't have many options right
Exactly. This idea that Fox is somehow the little fucking studio who could, you know. And,
exactly, yeah.
Not a fucking multi-billion-dollar conglomerate made by a fucking insane Australian pedophile, allegedly. All right?
Yeah, it's one of the things where you just go like, well, like I said, when you bend stuff, it starts to fit anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you really can take that and apply it. Like, 20th Century Fox could have acquired this. They couldn't, but they could have acquired Disney for argument's sake.
Maybe they could have, like, at some point, but no, not towards the end.
If we go back, like, 50 years, they might have had a shot, but who knows? No, I think X-24 is way more a reflection on, like, what our Logan thinks of himself as, or the facade that Logan puts up for himself, which is you know, hey, are you the Wolverine? Can you help me with this little girl? No, fuck off. Leave me alone. Like, that's the wall he builds up for people. And I like that towards the end of it, like, it's that kind of conflict is defeated because Laura fucking shoots him in the head and shatters this, like, along with it, shatters the image that Logan had of himself. And she saves Logan from the evil that is trying to attack him, but also metaphorically the evil that's within him, and like forces him to keep people at arm's length, which I think that's way more what James Mangold was probably intending, rather than just like a jab at Disney 2 years in advance or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's so much more to this than, you know, just a veiled attempt at like, oh, I'll get you mega corporation. You know, I think there is some stuff with that in there, but not to that sort of sense though, really.
Yeah. It's like also the aging thing, like.
Yeah, but also to say that's the intent, I think, is denying what the actual intent is. I think that's denying the actual heart of the story, which is this relationship between Logan and Laura, and you know, the man who has always hated himself. We know that about Logan. He's always had a hard time coming to terms with who he is and what he's capable of and the things he's done and everything like this. He's gone back and forth on being the Wolverine and saying he's not the Wolverine anymore and all this kind of stuff. And now we're at a point where he's back to James Howlett. He's got his original name back. He's not even Logan anymore.
They should have called the movie James Howlett.
They should have called it James Howlett.
Still in that blocky text.
Tell you what, though, fucking hell, just amazing that this movie is just called Logan.
Incredible for the day and age it came out in.
Exactly. Yeah. In today's day and age, the fact that this movie is just called Logan, not X-Men Presents Logan, not X-Men Logan, a Logan story or anything like that, you know, not
X-Men End of Days Origins Wolverine, Logan.
The Wolverine fucking Logan, you know, it's incredible that it's allowed to be just called Logan, and it's all the stronger for it. I fucking hate all this, like, no, we got to squeeze the brand into the title. Fuck off, no you don't. I hate
the
that
Wolverine,
shit.
Age of Palliative Care.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right. It is like, and how kind of saying that while we're on it, there's not really any other spot to kind of wedge this in, but like the marketing for this, what a time to be alive. Do you remember?
I do. I remember the infamous Hurt trailer with
I hurt myself.
9 Inch Nails is Hurt, covered by Johnny Cash. Probably the more famous version of the song.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good stuff.
I think the second trailer is often the underappreciated and maybe better trailer.
What's that?
It's a band called Calio, and the song is called "Way Down We Go."
Way down we go.
But it's like, I don't. There's something I remember. I just remember the fucking sheer balls on it to be like, The logo for the movie is white text. It's like Arial bold, Logan in caps. Like,
it doesn't. I remember the logo of not the logo, but the image and the poster of the movie they put out with like Laura's hand holding Logan's hand doesn't quite work though. It's like because her fingers are like super unnaturally long, you know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's one of them things that you kind of just go like, the person that made the poster did this. Have you seen something going around? Disney apparently released like a Thunderbolts poster of like a guy that plays like Sentry or Sentinel. I don't know what the character's called.
Sentry.
And he's got like 7 fingers.
No,
he doesn't. So abhorrent.
He doesn't. I know what you're talking about. He doesn't. It's just.
Have I been duped by the internet?
No, you've not. You've kind of been duped a little bit. It's just the angle of the picture. It is just a regular hand, and there's ways that it's been pointed out, but it is just a regular hand. It's just because the image with his hand is slightly cut off, okay, by like the border of the poster. So the way the border like cuts off one of his fingers, it like makes it seem like that's an extra finger coming in on top, but that's not actually the case. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
In that case, I cannot criticize Disney and their AI fucking nonsense this week.
And also, that wouldn't be AI, okay? Like, Photoshop mistakes have been around for, like, the fucking past 30 years,
no, but
okay?
the one I saw looked a bit suspect.
It's not AI, alright?
I'm not saying it's generative. I'm saying they maybe, like, made a little tinkle with the hands kind of thing.
No, wrong.
Famously, something AI is very good at. The hands, as everyone knows.
Yeah, famously.
Daphne Keane. How have we not spoken about Daphne Keane yet?
Amazing. For truly, like, introductory breakout role. So fucking incredible. Just absolutely kills it. And especially considering she doesn't say much for most of the movie. She doesn't say anything for most of the movie. Yeah. Spends most of the movie being silent. And just screaming and yelling and stuff. Incredible performance from such a young actress.
I agree. Yeah, have you seen they released her audition tapes around about when this movie was coming out for promo, and she's obviously a little bit younger than when she was when the movie came out. Yeah, and like even as like I don't know how old she was in the movie. I would probably say she's probably about 12 in the movie, like
maybe
thereabouts. She probably looks about that, but then like in the video in the audition tape, she looks about like fucking 11 or 10. And she is going toe-to-toe screaming in Hugh Jackman's face. And they just improv. You know the car scene where she starts punching him in the face?
Yeah, great scene.
It's a great scene, but they're like doing an improv version of that. And she is just like getting in his face and like going toe-to-toe with Hugh Jackman, who obviously has a very well-known and famous stage presence about him.
It's 2,000 fucking miles. You've been sitting in the back. You could have fucking talked to me this whole time.
Si ni me miras, me intentas dejar tirada, me gritas, ni me hablas, me insultas. ¿Tú qué crees? ¿Que voy a hablar contigo?
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, it's incredible performance from her.
She was born 2005.
That feels wrong. That was when I was watching Doctor Who.
Well, she's very young. Okay.
No, I know. I didn't expect her to be our age, but like...
yeah, she was born in 2005, so yeah, but when the movie came out, she would have been 12, but like when it was like filming in the production, yeah, she'd have been about 11, 10, 11 or something. Jeez. Yeah.
Was she in The Acolyte?
She was in The Acolyte, yeah.
Is she like, has she kept up with the chops? Because I haven't seen her in much since Logan.
She's very good in The Acolyte, yeah. Incredible fight sequence in the Acolyte. It's like fucking incredible. So good.
Well, it's no wonder why they probably got her. Like, she at fucking 11 years old, she was doing the best fight sequences in comic book movies.
Yeah.
Like...
Also, she's British now. I don't know why, but she's British.
I heard her speak in an interview, and I was like, "What happened there?
Yeah,
what's that about?"
Especially because this movie, she's like Gabriela.
Yeah, she's so. I think they probably amp up her Spanish in this.
Yeah, probably.
As an accent, but yeah, no, she's phenomenal in this. She's so good. She's so kind of. I know. So we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks. But I think it is a shame that they didn't do more with her after this, like immediately after this.
What, you mean like her own movie or
I don't even know what form I would have wanted it in. But like, I don't know, what's going on with all them kids at the end when they all run off? Like, maybe show me, because that other kid was quite cool. The kind of leader of the kids.
I don't know. Isn't that more of like this is the ending though, and
Like it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
he's just helped the next generation on kind of
yeah, what happens there? That's not necessarily stuff we need to know, really. You know,
thing. Okay.
it's
That'll give us-
what people say about Deadpool and Wolverine, but like about that, you know.
Yeah. We'll discuss it in Deadpool and Wolverine because I'm sure this conversation will come up again.
Maybe
Oh, I'll see. We'll see.
we'll see.
I am. I'm most looking forward to that.
So what, Daphne Keane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who I don't feel bad about saying she's in the movie because they told us she was in the movie a week before the movie came out.
She's in the trailers, yeah. It's fine.
Wild that they'd still do this kind of nonsense. Like,
Yeah, stupid.
people were going to see that movie.
Yeah, yeah. It was really. Apparently, though, it was because Daphne Keane said she wanted to go to the premiere, and then Kevin Feige was like, "Oh, we have to put her in the trailer." Then I'm like, "No, you don't. You can just go to a premiere."
At the height of the Acolyte coming out, if I saw Daphne Keane attend another Disney premiere for something, I would not have been shocked.
And also, yeah, she was in fucking Logan, so it makes sense that she'd be here as well. Like,
Yeah.
she wants to support like her friend Hugh Jackman and stuff and everything like that. I'm like,
Get her on the Andrew Garfield school of just lying.
the J.K. Simmons went to the premiere of Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay? And was it No Way Home? Is that the one? No.
No, Far From Home.
Far From Home. What?
Yeah, it's in the end credits of
European Vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He went to the premiere of Spider-Man fucking European Vacation, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool. He's like coming to support Spider-Man because he was in it that one time. That's fucking awesome." No
Yeah.
one had any fucking idea that he was in the movie whatsoever, and it was the biggest fucking twist when he did show up. It was great. All right.
I think this one. I see your point. I feel like this one maybe would have more suspicion around it because it is like there's cameos reported in the movie.
Ah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That-
she was in the
yeah.
last Wolverine movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I take your point. I still think she could have just like got. Or I'll tell you what, right? Just take her through the back entrance.
Yeah.
Like, so she doesn't have to walk the red carpet. Like if you were that serious about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Weird. It's just an odd choice that they were just like, you don't get this surprise anymore because one person wants to go to the premiere, which they still could have gone to.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's marketing nonsense. I think they probably just went, we can probably get a few more seats locked in before the weekend.
Yeah, probably. But they really didn't need to. The movie made
No.
over $1 billion.
Yeah, he was going to do completely fine.
Yeah.
In fact, incredibly well for the last year that the box office has had, to be honest.
Very true. Yeah.
Stephen Merchant turns in a fucking out of the blue crazy good performance here.
Yeah. Different Caliban to what we saw last week. That's for sure.
A much better version. A character. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. I like the way that like Logan just fucking hates him. Logan like he needs his help, but he really just fucking hates him. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell he just does his ending because everything he says is just like fuck off. You know?
Yeah. It just. I think he's got like he brings that classic The Office deadpan British delivery to a lot of stuff. He goes, "I'm pretty sure you don't want to talk about the fact that that's ibuprofen."
Yeah.
Just the way that Wolverine slaps his mug out of his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
It's very fun, but yeah, I think he's good. I think all of the performances are good in this. Like, I think Hugh Jackman's probably at his best because he gets to tap into like a bit of exhaustion and a bit of like he's always been a grumpy bastard, but he gets to really like shift into a different variety of his character.
Really great moment with Hugh Jackman and Daphne Keane, which breaks my heart, is when they're in the little like he's got them like, well, they got to like the friends, they got to the kids, like what is supposedly Eden but not really, and then like he's been passed out or whatever and he's getting ready to go and stuff, and he's telling her like she's better off without him, you know. He doesn't,
Yeah.
she doesn't want him around, she'll only get hurt, and he says like something to the effect of everyone I care about always ends up getting hurt, and then she just hits him with the then I'll be fine, and then walks out, and like, cuts deep. What a brutal line, you know?
Very emotionally switched on for a 12-year-old.
Very much so, yeah. Well, you'd have to be, wouldn't you? If that,
I mean,
if
yeah,
that
and
was,
also, yeah.
if that was your life, you'd have to be.
Very true. Yeah, very, very true. Speaking of that, like, I do love that there is, like, you get such... people will often praise, like, the fight sequences and how, like, physical her performance is in terms of, like, flipping and fucking stabbing people with her feet and shit. Like, hard stuff to do. But I think that like an underappreciated aspect of her performance is the way she reacts to the world that she's never lived in. Like the way she walks around, she picks up like a little ball, she starts like having a little bounce of it, just in the most like inappropriate times.
Just in the little gas station, just like taking all the food and the Pringles and just eating them because it's food. That's what it's for, you know.
Yeah. And then the second someone comes up to her and goes, "You can't do that," she's like, "Kill this person."
Yeah, that's what
just fucking murder.
Yeah.
But no, I just think it's an underappreciated aspect that she's like. She's almost like a very quiet fish out of water, but it never feels played up. It feels very natural.
Yeah.
But yeah. Villains? What do you make of the Boyd Holbrook turns in another James Mangold appearance as the bad guy Muscle?
Oh, Indiana Jones, yeah.
Unless he's in that car one that I haven't seen.
What car one?
He did another. Did he do Ford v Ferrari? Was that him?
I don't know. Haven't seen it.
He might have shown up to blow up a car in that or something. I don't know.
Right. Well, good for him if he's in that movie. No, yeah. Boyd Holbrook's great. I've always really enjoyed it. It's a really, like, I don't know why I enjoy this, but there's just one beat of his that I always really enjoy. I think it's when Laura Daphne Keane is coming out of the like fucking warehouse or whatever that they're living in Mexico with the head, with just that guy's decapitated head, and he's just like, Laura, put it down, come here. And then someone like goes to cock their gun or something, and he just like holds his finger up and goes, stop, just like that. And I don't know why, but I just, that's good stuff. It just resonates with me. I think he's menacing, and I love his little robot arm, and he's got like a really good like cuntish way about him, you know?
Yeah, he's a prick. He's just an asshole to talk to. Yeah,
he's a good prick, is what he is. Yeah.
It's I love that moment is incredible because like he's smarter than the average grunt, which of like is like militia that are behind him, and the way he like just like you say flips his finger up and kind of like almost shushes them with like, she's a fucking animal. Do not show a microaggression towards her. She'll kill us all in seconds. Like don't do it. I just the way that he goes no. It's also, it's not lost on me that like he's like, the movie is dealing with these very kind of elitist, prejudiced villains, and the way they're kind of like, they experiment and they see mutants as like less than people and like property, and I think they say like they call Laura just like a patent that has gone running away, and like the way they see them as that, but then they rely on them to do their biddings. It's very like elitism, very kind of like savage mindset that they purport to kind of be above this level of savagery and evil, but in actual fact they're operating in such scummy territory.
Yeah.
And it's not lost on me that Boyd Holbrook just decides that he'll dust off an extremely southern drawl for this role.
Does he not? Is he not? Is that not his natural voice?
It is, but he's amping it up in this one. Like
okay.
He's from the South, at least I think. But he's like in interviews, he's very like more relaxed about it. He's like, yeah, I had a good time working on the movie. But in this, he's like, well, as I live and breathe, the Wolverine.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it's good. I also really enjoy Richard E. Grant. In this, first of all, I'm always going to enjoy Richard E. Grant. Okay, you put that man in any movie, and he just brings a certain color, which it just makes it more exciting. He's always so good in everything. Love Richard E. Grant. He's great. He I don't know like who he's supposed to be. Like just some fucking scientist. Oh, they say like he's someone's son. Like. But
yeah, was he Stryker's son?
I think that's kind of what they was implying, but I don't think so. His name's not Stryker though, and he didn't say the Ice Stryker. The Ice Boy?
The Ice Striker's got an Ice Boy son, isn't he?
No,
Jason,
but he's clearly not him because he was both a mutant and in a wheelchair and everything else. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't necessarily know if he says Stryker, but he says like my father worked on the Weapon X program or something. And then he says something like Wolverine says something like I think I killed him.
Logan says he was the asshole who put this in me.
Yeah, so maybe he was just the guy that injected him with the needle. Who knows? It's just unknown clerk 1.
Great. But hey, he's good. He's very good in this role. It fits really well. He's menacing in that, like, he's menacing without being physically threatening, which Richard E. Grant always does well, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's just a small little old guy or whatever.
He's a cowardly antagonist because he's like he's canoodling up to Caliban, being like, "Oh, well, we'll make it right for you, and we'll sort you out." But he's obviously just got the most evil intentions at heart.
And I really like how like he's like giving this big speech to Logan, and Logan just goes "fuck off" and just shoots him in the face.
So good.
Well. Just such a quick put down of him as well. Like no long speeches or anything like that. Just see you later.
Yeah, just done, absolutely outright done. Yeah, I love that because obviously it's always going to have to come down to that because Wolverine gets within a meter of him and he's dead. Like X-23 gets within a meter of him, he's dead. Like it's just he was never gonna stand up to him. So I like that in his last moment he tried to kind of like negotiate a little bit.
And then this like weird like relationship he has with X-24 as well, that he's like that it's like it's some deranged like father son relationship where he's like where Papa is like, you know, the scientist who created him, and he's like the physically imposing monster who can't speak but loves his papa. You know,
it's the gang member with a fucking pit bull on a chain, isn't it? Like, it's the bad dog owners that train their dogs to be fucking ruthless killers that only respond to them. Yeah, like it's. Yeah, I do like the moment where Boyd Holbrook kind of quickly opens the thing, and then when X-24 sees the dead Richard E. Grant, you can just hear Boyd Holbrook go, "That's him! He did that!
He did that! He killed your daddy!"
Just actively trying to rile him up with whatever lack of control he has.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Good on Richard E. Grant for being in the movie.
Yeah, this was his era as well. Like he was loving life around when this came out. Like
was he? What else was he doing?
He probably just got cast in Episode 9, Star Wars.
He is in Episode 9, isn't he? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Then he did Loki, and was that 2021?
He did Loki in sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably done a hell of a lot more things. Played that version of the Doctor at one point, I think.
It's difficult. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
It's a whole box fish. He was in Doctor Who though.
What the new Who?
You'll see very soon.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I remember who he is.
Yes.
He's a weird cunt with a big hat.
He is a weird cunt with a big hat. Yeah.
Yes, I remember seeing him now. I've only got like a little bit left to say because we're probably due to wrap up any minute. But like,
no.
No, okay. sorry, everyone. I think we spoke about it a little bit up top, but I think the melding of the superhero genre with a classic Western is such a fucking clever choice. Like putting Wolverine in this box now of being more a hardened hero archetype character rather than a superhero, and like having to come to terms with the world changing around them. We're Red Dead 2 boys. You know, we've put ourselves in the boots of a gruff outlaw that has to grapple with the world that doesn't really need him anymore. Mm-hmm. And like, I just think that that's almost like the way they paint mutants in this as this kind of like this fad that's now out of fashion, and they're dying out, and no one really cares or has any bother with them anymore. And they're like, it feels like a lawless place, even though we're dealing with the spectrum of the whole world. Like it feels very much like an uncivilized time. Very much does.
You get a sense that everything's kind of gone to shit, really. Like, I mean, those fucking guys trying to like fucking steal his tires or whatever, you know, they just straight up shoot him.
Yeah, just like, shotgun him outright for being like, "Hey guys,"
in just like the fucking street with like people around, and like no one's doing anything about it. You know?
Yeah, it does. It feels very like almost how they show crime in Gotham, like no consequences.
Yeah,
like it's just something you can do if you're brave.
Yeah, so it's when you litter or, you know, steal a TV to feed your starving family, and then a 6'4" man emerges out of the shadows and cripples you for life.
When you dive into the swimming pool in the no diving end, and Batman breaks your jaw.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I just think that that's such an ingenious fucking move, because firstly it gives the movie its own distinct identity.
Yeah,
that I think James Mangold is very good at doing. He's very good at bringing in a vibe.
He's very good at doing a man forgotten by time who's moved on and everything like that. What if there was a fun, archaeologist who had all these adventures in Nazi Germany and throughout the 30s or whatever, and then it's suddenly the 70s or the 80s and he's old now and it's, he's
Listen,
out of
we're
time.
Dial of Destiny enthusiasts, all right? You can go listen to our episode on it, but we're some of the few people on planet Earth that enjoyed that movie quite a lot.
It's baffling that people don't enjoy that movie.
It's such a fun time.
It's good. It's a good movie. There's a big mountain man in it.
Yeah, exactly. How can you? I mean, there is in most of them, to be fair.
There's a big CGI man. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Boyd Holbrook. He doesn't have a robot arm, but he is a Nazi.
He is a Nazi, and he gets punched in the face a few times, which is great.
Go. Well, what do you want?
Probably more punches, but we got enough for me to be satisfied with.
Do you want a scene set in ancient Greece? You got it.
Have it.
There it is.
It's all there for you on the taking.
Yeah.
Time travel. We're doing that now. Sort of.
I saw someone saying, I can't remember what they were saying, but they were like, the opening, the flashback opening at the beginning of Dial of Destiny is bad, and I was like, it could not be more wrong.
So it's one of the most fun opening 30 minutes of a movie I've seen, and it's 30 fucking minutes, by the way. Like, it's so fun.
It's so good as well. What a fun little romp.
Look, I'm not saying it's visually perfect. Like, there's some shadows concealing some less than stellar work, but for the most part, it looks pretty good.
I think it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
It's a good movie, man. Harrison Ford in his 80s was like, here's another Indiana Jones. Like, just...
What a
It's
gift.
fine. Yeah, exactly. Accept what you've been given.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say on Logan. What about you?
He died. He got killed by a tree. It's pretty good.
Fucking brutal death. I remember wincing in the cinema at that.
Very brutal. Yeah, very brutal. No, I enjoy that all a lot. I enjoy the trope of like a hero who has had so many like infamous huge battles, and they've done this, they fought the greatest villains of all time, they've gone up against anything, and what brings them to their final demise is something so insignificant, something so he's just protecting a few kids in a forest, and he gets shoved onto a tree, and that's how he goes out. There's just something so rich about that in trope I enjoy, really.
I do too. Like when you consider it, it's like, I know it's kind of a little bit like, was this the same Logan? Who cares, right? The ultimate thing is he obviously there was a time with the X-Men, and we're left to infer from what we've seen from the actual first X-Men movie. He initially scoffs at the idea of like kids being taught how to control their powers and protected and given a safe haven away from the prying eyes of the world.
Yes.
And then he dies for that cause. Like,
yeah.
He essentially gives his life just for the possibility of saving the future of the mutant race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's great. It's beautiful. The scene with Daphne Keane and him dying. It's beautiful. It's emotional. Him saying, "Oh, so this is what it feels like," as he succumbs to his death from his magic green juice or whatever. I don't know.
One of the only times in the movie he smiles, by the way. Horrible.
And he looks ugly as well. Like in that specific sequence, he's allowed an ugly death, which is quite nice. I love it. I love it a lot. It's very emotional. It's very beautiful. Obviously, then they bury him in the little grave, and like she turns the cross into her little legs and stuff. It's just nice, isn't it? It's just
I'll
all
be damned
very,
if I'm not
very
crying.
sweet. Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Yeah. Such an obvious thing as well, turning the cross on a grave to an X. Like, this is why you need people with the sauce making these movies, right? Because, like, who would have thought of that? Like
Me. I would have.
Yeah, and me too. I did. I actually texted him on the day. Right. I said, I heard you're filming this. I've seen some set photos. You probably want to turn that into an X. You don't have to credit me or anything. It's fine. You can. That's a freebie for you, Mangold.
All right. Well, there we are then.
But I demand that in payment you make Indiana Jones time travel in 5 years.
There we go.
That's me. I haven't even got any little things. Oh, do you want to do some X drip?
Yes, I do. Obviously, we get a return of Wolverine's iconic outfit, which is, of course, just a white tank top as he runs through the woods,
And I'll be honest, right? I love that Hugh Jackman's still in the prime shape of his life. Better shape than I'll ever be in my entire life.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that he's a little bit saggier. I appreciate that he's a bit flabbier in places.
He is, yes, but then as well, you see that scene like where he goes with the guy whose house he stays at, who then ends up getting his whole family killed. But he goes with him to like stop the water or whatever, and then they get confronted and accosted by those guys. And like in that scene, he's just the most ridiculously ripped man you've ever seen ever. Just the way the light is illuminating his muscles and his tank top. You're like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
you look, the guy goes like, oh, so you've had training. I'm like, it took him breaking the gun to clock that, did it? Like, mountain over here.
You see this mountain of a man in a tank top, and the skin you can see is so fucking scarred and fucked up. And he looks like he will kill you before he even fucking looks at you. Insane.
It's even when like the antagonizers that come over, like obviously like the landowning pricks.
Yeah.
Right? Like when they came over and they were like, haha, look, this guy hired himself some muscle. Like, yeah, I'd be shutting the hell up if I were him, man.
You're an 80-year-old man in a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Okay? What do you think is going to happen here? I know this guy's also old, but just look at him, though.
Yeah.
Right?
He's going to murder you in a millisecond. Like,
yeah.
You don't get that jacked. I also think that's a really well-written scene, just the way, like, he comes out and he goes, like, if you want to go play Okie Dickhead somewhere else, and, like, the way that he goes, you probably hear this a lot, and cracks the gun. Yeah. And then he does the countdown. Like, it's a very satisfying scene, because you just want to watch some fucking idiot racists get fucking handed to them, basically.
100%, yeah. Laura has good X-strip. I like her little denim jacket and the little glasses she gets as well.
It's a good look.
Very cool stuff. Charles gets a nice little hat at one point.
Oh, I don't know what it is about Patrick Stewart's performance. The way he rips open that bag and excitedly puts the hat on in the lift.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love him. He feels like your granddad, doesn't he? Like
he does. Yeah.
He's incredible.
It is very good. Yeah. Egg-strip adjacent, but I noticed when they were burying Logan at the end, the little boy, he's just got a Wolverine toy in the little fucking the classic yellow costume.
Really? When was this? I didn't.
Yeah, he's got like he's got the little one of the kids. He's just got a fucking like a Wolverine toy, like a classic.
Oh, like from
X-Men
the comic,
costume.
like merch from the comic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew that. Oh, that's so cool. They gave him his iconic burns as well. We should talk about his chops.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Horrible. Looks awful.
It looks horrendous, yeah.
Yeah, keep the beard. What are you doing?
You immediately see why they never committed to that look.
Yeah.
But I respect them for doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, there we are.
Last thing I'll say is this is a little thing, right? So I'm not breaking any rules here. Okay. There's a really... I don't know why it cracked me up so much. The way Charles pauses the telly and goes, Laura, this is a very famous picture, Laura. 100 years old.
Yeah.
I want Charles's letterbox. I want to see what he's rating.
And just be old fucking westerns.
He loves it, man, and his new hat and everything. He's feeling himself watching his.
I'll tell you what, Laura was really paying attention to that picture. She got that fucking quote down. Fucking, it's been everything. It's been a few days as well, and so much has happened. That quote is ingrained deep within him.
There's no living with the killing, Nathan. Right? It's almost like the movie is doing a western thing.
There's no more guns in the valley. Running home to your mother. Shane, 1953. That's not 100 years old.
No, but it would be for them because it's 2029.
No, it's 2029. That's still going to be 100 years old.
No, I think it's almost 100 years old.
Okay.
When does it come out?
It's nearly 100 years old. That's not quite true, as the movie came out in 1953. That would only be 76 years old in 2029.
Well, he's rounding up. To be fair, he's got fucking hella He's got dementia.
He does have super dementia. Yeah,
so let him off, right?
That is pretty fair. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. Shane. What's Shane?
What's Shane?
1953.
Recommendations, or you got any more stuff to say on Logan?
I'll tell you what we will do. We'll just do a quick one here. Another happy still got thoughts? Another happy thought? Another happy thought?
What's this? What are you doing?
So someone on our Discord, which is mostly for our Still Got Legs podcast, but they said, hey, do you have still got thoughts for another happy pod? And I said, no, we tried it once, but no one wanted to tell us anything. So don't worry about
That's
it.
kind of the mindset I'm in now. Like, Nathan, what are you doing? We've tried
Yeah.
this.
But then they said, hey, but maybe now we have a Discord, we can do it here. And if we have anything else, all right, okay. Anyway, we have one this week, okay? And we'll set up a channel on the Discord dedicated to it. So if you do have them, you can drop them in. It won't be like a Still Got Thoughts kind of thing where it's like every week we're doing this. It'll be like if they're there, we'll do them, and if they're not, no worries. So we'll check in. But anyway, so Avery says about Logan. Logan is proof that Hugh Jackman is hot even when he's a dying old man. Also, it's a masterpiece and it makes me cry like a baby every time. Immaculate vibes, great action and violence. Honestly, just a perfect movie. It might be the best CBM comic book movie of all time. It's definitely top 3.
Ooh, what are your top 3?
My top 3 comic book movies of all time?
So that's a fucking hot. There's so many.
There are a lot now, and just Marvel alone is like fucking 50. Right?
Yeah.
Like, top 3 comic book movies of all time. Okay. In no particular order, I would have to say top 3 Iron Man 3. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Bold claim.
Great movie.
I like
right?
Iron Man 3, but top 3?
I don't know, maybe not. But this is just a vibes thing. This is just in the moment, okay?
Yeah,
All
okay.
Right. Maybe not top 3.
I say that is. I like the movie, but that's a very bold claim.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Top 3. I'm gonna say. I don't know. What's yours?
Okay. It's tough.
If you say the Batman, I'll punch you in the face.
Dark Knight's edging in there for me. Not
It's a
the
good
Batman.
movie. Dark Knight's a good movie.
I have too many problems with the back end of the Batman for it to be top 3. I would
Ave
say,
Maria.
yeah, Ave Maria indeed. I would say the Dark Knight probably cracks number 1.
Number 1.
I think so. I would
Number
then say
1.
I would then say that maybe unpopular opinion, but I think Spider-Man 1 of the Raimis, not 2, but number 1. I like its simplicity, and I love that ending fight between the Goblin and Spider-Man. I think it's incredible.
I think you get a much better Goblin fight in Spider-Man No Way Home.
I like the Goblin fight in No Way Home.
That Goblin fight in No Way Home is incredible.
I know, but I'm thinking about that filmmaking of like the camera following him as he gets punched in the face, and his costume's ripped to fuck, and he looks incredible. Like also, it's full on horror vibes in the last like 10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, that's not enough to justify the rest of the movie for me, though.
I would agree. I just think because it's nostalgic for me as well. It has a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe say Kick-Ass 2. No, I'm joking.
You do love Kick-Ass 2.
I do. What a picture. I love everything about it. There's nothing I would change.
Logan wouldn't be in there for your top 3 then?
It might be. I'm toying between like Logan, maybe the Winter Soldier. Oh no, fuck that. Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Foster's good call. Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So my 3
would
are
say.
Dark Knight, Spider-Man, the OG, and Into the Spider-Verse.
All right. Across the Spider-Verse. Okay. Wild card. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Baffles me that people don't enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
I do not understand how people think that movie is bad. That is genuinely... I fucking love that movie so much.
I haven't revisited it, but I remember having a great time with it.
It's so good. I enjoy it a lot. I love it.
Hey, Raimi's cracked both of our top 3. I know that one.
has.
Let you sleep at night.
I was very apprehensive about that movie because of Raimi.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, but... did good.
I love the idea that you're sat there like, a good director.
I have had issues with Raimi.
No, I know you
have. Doctor Strange. What was the other one? Across the Spider-Verse.
So you're going across, not into.
I'm going across, not into. I think across is better than into.
I think Across is probably the better movie. I think Into is the simpler movie, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and you got that weird thing where the first one's always...
No, I just said I think Across is better. The soundtrack on Across is...
Then why is it not in your... Why is it not the top spot then?
So it should just be... I tell you what, my top 3 is Into, Across, and Beyond 1 and 2. I've made 4
but if
slots.
you're saying Across is the better movie, then why is it not...
Because it's my preference. I think there are better movies than The Dark Knight, but...
But yes, movies, but we're talking about comic book movies.
No, I think there are better comic book movies, but my
Then why are
personal
you not
preference...
saying those for the top 3 of all time? If you think that's what this is, we're talking about the top one.
I think there's you can make a distinction between best and favourite. Absolutely, you can.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Across, Multiverse, and then I would say...
Spending so long on this.
I know.
The Lego Batman movie.
Oh, that is good,
It's a very good movie.
That is good. That is a good movie.
I'm going to throw some wild cards at you. So we
All
can,
right, hit me.
I was about to say Deadpool, the movie that I think you've called aggressively fine the other day.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, one of your favourites.
Oh, horrible. No, not
Aquaman.
good. No, not good.
Batman
No, it's fine.
Begins.
Aquaman's fine. Batman Begins is a little boring, but mostly okay.
First Class.
Good movie.
The Suicide Squad, James Gunn.
Good movie. I've only seen it once. I haven't seen it since we watched it, so
I think I've seen it once more since, but not a lot of times.
I need to see it again. I enjoyed
Batman
it, though.
66.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Impeccable. Big cinema.
Iron Man.
Very good. Very good movie.
Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Your favorite
Never seen it. Never will. Don't care.
Your favourite actor.
No, absolutely not.
Green Lantern. Another one for you Reynolds heads out there.
Never seen it. Don't care.
All right, you've got to give me one, or I'm gonna make you pick the
You know
next
what?
one I say.
I'll go for it. I'll say Logan. I'll put it
All
up
right.
there. Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Some
There
love
we
for
go.
Logan on our Logan podcast.
Well done, Logan. You deserve it.
For all the reasons listed above in the last hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah, see the last hour.
Have we got any more thoughts, or is that it?
That's it, just the one. So there we go.
So we created a segment for a message, basically, is what we
Well,
did.
look at the conversation it spawned.
That's
Good
true. I
stuff.
had a good time.
Yeah.
I had a very good time with that.
There we go. So again, what we'll do, if you're in the Discord server, great. If not, join it. It's mostly Doctor Who. If you don't like Doctor Who,
You'll have to put
probably
up with
don't
an
join
awful
it.
lot of Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's probably, if you don't like Doctor Who, probably don't join it. But
You can tweet us or whatever.
you can tweet us, but I probably don't care about that. Also, you've changed. The man
Yeah, I
who's
guess so,
campaigning to take away Twitter this week. We'll set up a channel in the Discord for it going forward. Again, it won't be an every week thing. If there is thoughts there, we'll go for it. If not, we won't worry about it. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
And well, like, even if there's thoughts, like if they won't spawn a nice conversation like that one just did, we probably won't bother. Like,
Yeah, I guess
if it's just someone being like, "Thought this was good,"
yeah.
probably not.
Give us some more. Ask us a question. Give us some juicy details to get into.
Do the podcast for us.
Yeah, just do the podcast for us.
Nathan,
Anyway.
it is that time of the show where we recommend some stuff to each other and to our lovely loyal listeners.
I love recommending things.
You know what I'm recommending this week. Do you want me to go first?
I do know what you're recommending this week, so hold on. Let me just close every distracting thing on my computer. Okay. I want to give you my full, undivided attention.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, go ahead.
It's 12 Angry Men.
What a shock.
I know, it's a shock for Nathan. To be fair, it was a shock for me. 1957, the movie came out.
Very good year. I remember it well.
Yeah, it was same. I've toyed with the idea of putting this on for like maybe 2 years, and I've always been a bit intimidated by that year because I know the vibe of the movie is pretty much. You could watch this movie with your eyes closed. You shouldn't, but it's basically a radio play.
Okay.
And what I wanted to watch it just because I've heard so many people say it's incredible, but everything I'd heard about it sounded like something I wouldn't be into.
Yeah, same, to be honest.
Yeah, so I was curious. And I have that weird bias where I do find it quite hard to connect to older things.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it is a bit
Because they're
holds you
old
at
and
arm's
gross.
length.
They're old and gross and boring.
I was not expecting this movie to be as progressive as it was. Like,
Oh, really?
there are lots of instances within this movie where the progressive line of thinking is often heralded as the better way to do something.
Tell me this. The 12 men in question,
Yeah.
are any of them not white?
No, but look at the era that we're in here.
So progressive in terms of, like...
The ideas posited are progressive, but no, it's
Okay.
obviously not a very
Yeah.
inclusive, well-rounded cast of individuals, no.
But in these days, you'd have 12 angry, woke women. Bloody
12 angry they, them.
12 angry.
Who could imagine? No, but I won't bleat on about it because I think it is a good one to watch. But it's the script of this thing is so engaging, and
So from what I understand from pop culture, it's basically... they're a jury, aren't they?
yes, yeah,
They're on the New Girl jury.
yes,
Jess
they
was
are,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a very pregnant Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz?
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel. I was watching New Girl the other day, and I was like, that's fucking Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes, she is a student in one of the episodes.
She's
isn't
a
she?
student in Jess's
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
How far she's come.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think it's
So
it's-
Olivia Rodrigo is not in this movie.
No, I don't think she was alive. But then again,
Less interesting.
who am I
now,
to
if I'm
say?
being
Because I
honest.
wasn't there. Yeah, it is probably less interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
it's
wanted
a
her
jury.
to pop off with obsessed in the middle of the table.
And are the men very angry?
I would say that
Is there 12 of
all
them?
of them have a good time to be angry.
Okay.
Apart from maybe one, who is maybe the hero of the piece.
Is there 12 of them?
There is 12 of them, yeah.
I think I might have seen. I think I might have seen a Family Guy episode that parodies 12.
I'd love to know what your understanding of it is from that Family Guy parody.
Well, from what I remember of the Family Guy parody, they need to get to a unanimous decision. Okay, they need to
Yes.
come to a unanimous decision, but there's one person who's like no, and then
Pretty much.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's how the movie starts, yeah.
Well, there we go. I've seen the Family Guy version, so I'm good.
So you find you don't, yeah, whatever. You don't need to see it.
Yeah. I think it was Brian Griffin who was the one person.
Okay, yeah. It's not a movie that anyone necessarily needs to see, but I can say this, that I had put off watching it for a long time because I thought it wouldn't be for me, and I was very wrong. I had a good time watching it. I think it's definitely one to put on, like when you don't feel like you need to be. No, I don't know. I don't know the way to say it. It's very engaging, but like if you're in the mood for like a visual treat, I cannot stress enough that it is 12 men in a room for the entire movie.
Should I just listen to it as a podcast? Should I just put it on my phone and then put on my headphones and play Red Dead Redemption?
I think the ideal way to watch Christopher Nolan's clapping through your window. No,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't recommend doing it. You could do it, but I also think you might get lost in the 12 different transatlantic voices that you can't tell the
okay.
difference between. Like,
Well, hey, this boy here, he's guilty. I tell you now.
yeah. So it is a little bit of that, but no, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I watched it.
Right. Okay. Well,
What about you? What are you recommending?
well, there we go. I'll tell you what. I'll watch it tomorrow.
Are you going to watch it tomorrow?
No, probably not.
Okay, fair enough. You don't have to. This is not like no one's holding you at gunpoint. Do the podcast thing you spoke about. Play Red Dead while you watch it.
I might. We'll see. I am recommending a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a YouTube channel which I've just been getting lost in the sauce on in the past few weeks or so. And it's really been feeding my recent, often reoccurring hyperfixation on the beautiful ship that is the RMS Titanic. Okay.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
This is a
So
YouTube
this is sort
channel.
of a companion recommendation to last week. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. You can think of it like that. It's the YouTube channel Ocean Liner Designs. Okay.
This is such a rabbit hole. I can already tell.
It's great. I've been enjoying it quite a lot, and they're very well made videos, which are very good. Just basically like kind of like lots of little mini documentaries about about ocean liners and ships of that era, sort of thing, of the Titanic era and that kind of stuff, and lots of great videos. one thing that I've really been getting into is learning more about the Carpathia, which is the ship that came to the rescue of the Titanic, and is the ship where the 700 and so survivors boarded, which took them back to New York. Because that has a fascinating story about how it actually got to Titanic.
Is that the one that the Rose is standing on at the end of the Titanic?
It is, yes.
I
It
see.
is, yes. And it's a really fascinating story, and it actually deserves to be a movie about the Carpathia, I think. I'd love to write and direct it myself one day, because I will be a famous writer-director.
Yeah.
But it's but
You can
I
ask
think
James Gunn for advice on how to force people to piss in paddling pools or
Do
something.
you mean James Cameron?
That's what I meant. Oh, God, I'm not good with names today.
You fool!
Zoe Kravitz and
I'll just get
Gunn.
James Gunn and Rocket Raccoon to come help me film this movie, shall I? Sean Gunn in his little costume as well.
in his little tennis ball outfit or whatever.
Yeah. No, it was great. One video I particularly enjoyed was kind of like it's presented as like a mini documentary from an alternate reality where the Titanic never actually sunk. And it's like, let's learn about this ship that's forgotten to history, because obviously the most famous thing about the Titanic is that it fucking sunk.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, things would be very different, and it would be a ship that just goes on to have its career and serves with her sister ships, Britannic and Olympic, and it's eventually just forgotten about the time, really, which is
Nice.
is really fascinating, really good stuff. He's a beautiful Australian guy who presents the channel, and it's just really good. I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
Is, out of curiosity, is it one of them channels where like the video that they did about the Titanic is like enormous, like millions of views, and then every other ship is like struggling for 100k views?
I think the Titanic ones are the ones that gets the most views, and the Titanic ones do come up quite regularly. But hey, this guy's doing well. You know, he's sitting at 638,000 subscribers. So
I mean, look, if you can pull that amount of fucking people in for pretty much the less interesting boat of the Titanic story, like that's cool, man. What was that called again?
Ocean Liner Designs.
Ocean Liner Designs. That does sound.
Yeah.
I love YouTube documentaries, especially when they're made well. Like,
Yeah, made by people who are like really passionate about this stuff. You know, it's not like there's no agenda behind it. It's just someone probably autistic with a hyperfixation. who's like, I'm gonna just make something about.
They've downloaded
this,
an editing presets pack, so everything feels nice and smooth and like.
Exactly.
There
was also one video again which I really enjoyed, which was what they do as well is they'll like dispel like rumors and popular misconceptions about things. And one of the things that like comes up a lot, like if you watch pretty much any documentary about the Titanic, 9 times out of 10 there will be this footage in it which is supposedly the Titanic leaving port for departing on the maiden voyage in Southampton and going on the journey, but no such footage actually exists. There's no actual footage of the Titanic that survives to this day, apart from one very small piece of footage which was during the construction of the ship as well.
Oh wow, okay.
And the footage that is often passed off as Titanic is actually of her sister ship, the Olympic, getting ready to depart from New York actually, and he goes through like the differences and why he doesn't quite match up and just dispels that stuff, which is also very interesting.
Fuck, this guy's proper on it.
He's good.
That's proper hyperfixation there.
He's good. It's really good.
All right, that sounds very cool. Like I say, I love a YouTube documentary. I was scorned for a long while. I'm very hesitant of YouTube documentaries ever since that kind of horrendous like 2017-ish fucking rise of like every influencer suddenly became a fucking documentarian. Like fucking Shane Dawson's out here being like, here's 11 parts on why this concert sucked or something.
Is that what Shane Dawson was doing?
Don't you remember? Shane Dawson was making like fucking like 20-part documentaries.
Really?
And they were horrendous. I watched one out of interest, right? And I watched 2 episodes of it and I went, oh, this is fucking dreck. This is like
didn't Shane Dawson do the Logan or Jake Paul documentary?
Yeah, that was the one I watched 2 episodes of and I was just like, everyone hears. And also maybe burn on Shane Dawson. But in a documentary where he's trying to discern if someone is a sociopath, you sure did a good job in making yourself look like one as well, like along with it.
I don't think anyone's coming out to defend Shane Dawson these days.
No, I don't think so. I think he probably did some horrendous stuff, didn't he? I just know that he's in with that era of like people that probably should get swept under the rug and not mentioned again.
Like he's a pedophile.
Is he?
Allegedly. I don't know.
Oh, big yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking do a 12-part documentary on that. Tell us why
I bet
you're not.
you won't.
All right, lovely stuff. Well, thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please feel free to leave us a little 5-star review. That would be very cool. And what was that?
I don't know. I'm just making noises.
You can follow us on Twitter at Another Happy Pod, and you can suggest a topic for us to check out. But we obviously are going to be continuing X-Mania next week with this.
Sorry I'm late. I was rounding up all the gluten in the world and launching into space where it can't not hurt us ever again.
Kiss me like you miss me, Red.
Lovely stuff. If you feel so inclined, we also have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes if you want to help us out with the running of both of the shows that we do. There is zero pressure to sign up for that. Everyone's always welcome to enjoy the episodes for free and forever. And speaking of both the shows that we do, Nathan, we've kind of already mentioned it a little bit, but we have another podcast, don't we?
We do. It's called Still Got Legs. It's a Doctor Who rewatch podcast where every week we watch and discuss an episode of Doctor Who from the revival era in order. So, yeah. Join us and have some fun, or I'll shoot you in the face with a gun.
It's true, he will.
That rhymed. I didn't mean it
well
to,
done.
but it did.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.